children from Minton Egg School lead us in the pledge. Would you come forward, please? Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That was great leadership for our pledge. Thank you. Mrs. Mountain, would you please take attendance?
Sure. Mrs. Serafino? Mr. Sutton? Here. Mrs. Farrell? Mrs. Alevras? Here. Dr. Irizarry?
Here.
Mrs. Garbosick?
Here.
Mayor Sullivan?
Thank you. We'll have our student representative report from Jack Lever from the high school. He's a senior at the high school. We always enjoy your reports.
Thank you. Good evening.
Oh, before you start, congratulations on your admission to the National Honor Society.
Thank you.
That's something new since we
appreciate
last saw
it.
you.
Thank you. During this first week of December, Westside freshmen will be taking part in a preventative program called Signs of Suicide. The purpose of this program is to educate students about the signs and symptoms of depression and encourage them to seek out trusted adults for themselves or friends when necessary. The program will take place in the mini theater, and there will be a video and discussion on Tuesday, December 1st, Monday, December 7th, and Tuesday, December 8th. The attending students will be given a form to complete after viewing and talking about the video, and this will indicate whether or not they would like to seek out additional information or help regarding the subject. The junior class will possibly be the next class partaking in this program in the spring of the current school year. WSHS hosted the most recent SATs on Saturday, December 5th, and the next ACT session will take place on Saturday, December 12th. Student progress reports will be distributed to the high schoolers on Wednesday, December 9th, as we are already halfway through term 2 of the school year. The Westside Senior Winter Formal will be held at Yankee Peddler on Thursday, December 10th, from 6 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. for those students who purchase tickets to attend. The High School Drama Club will be presenting their winter comedy play, Death by Design, starting on December 10th, and they will be performing it each day until December 12th, with all showings starting at 7 o'clock p.m. in the high school auditorium. Also, winter sports are in full swing, with regular practices for every sport occurring daily. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want to thank Pat for setting the stage for me. Appreciate that.
Quite welcome. I'm
Well, we
glad
give
you
Pat a
arrived.
round of applause. This is the largest audience we've had. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, next up on the agenda is the appointment of Stuart Mountain to the Planning and Construction Committee. I'll entertain a motion. Actually, why don't I move it? I'll entertain a second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. I do want to note that Pat Gabrazik served in this capacity for almost 4.5 years. So again, let's give her another round of applause. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
It's a big night for Pat.
Yeah, I know.
Presentations, we have a few this evening, but before we go to that, are there any school committee reports? Dr. Azari.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'd like to hear from, thank you. I'd like to hear from the superintendent if there is an update on the statement of interest for Coben School.
Go ahead.
I am happy to provide you with some information tonight, Dr. Irizarry. In fact, yesterday afternoon, I was privileged enough to have a conference call with the mayor, with the town's chief financial officer, Sharon Wilcox, and the assistant superintendent, Mr. McQuillan, with Diane Sullivan from MSBA. We are considered to be right at the end of their vetting of all the applications that had come in, the number near 100. We are a, dare I say, finalist as they are continuing the vetting of all the applicants. The purpose of the phone call yesterday was to determine the town's financial preparedness to engage in a new building project. And we expect that we will hear sometime in January what the results of the MSBA's findings are. We're all keeping our fingers crossed that we will be welcomed into the grant program.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you. Back to presentations. Mr. Richard, do you want to lead us?
I'd be happy to, Mayor Sullivan, thank you. I'd like to begin by introducing our team from Mittenegg School, who are going to share some of the work that they're doing as part of their Encore group research presentations, projects led by fourth and fifth graders under Mrs. Ranstrom's guidance. But to introduce the program in its entirety, I would ask that Principal Diane Doe come on up and share some information with the audience.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Encore program before the students came up.
Is that button pushed, the green button?
Sorry.
There you go.
I wanted to talk to you about the Encore program before the students presented, because this is something new for our school. It's an initiative that we embraced last year about how to push the envelope a little bit and provide enrichment for all the students in our school. The teachers spent a few months with different scenarios of trying to see how it worked. And we did a pilot program at the end of last year for the month of June on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons for 40 minutes each day to see if we could present things differently. The curriculum that we use is the same curriculum for the town of West Springfield, for the state of Massachusetts. It's just done a little differently with more inquiry built in and more choice built in as far as the students are concerned. Teachers took about probably 5 hours total to decide how to split the children up. It's multi-graded. Grades 1 and 2 have one program, and 3, 4, and 5 have another, but some of the groups are 3 to 5, and some are 3 and 4, and some are 4 and 5, and so it's all a mix. The teachers in the upper grades decided that they would take oral presentations on as their focus for the first trimester. In grades 1 and 2, it's still an ELA focus, but it runs the gamut from ERI, which is about learning about letters and sounds, to oral presentations and figurative writing. So there's a lot that goes on. It is very exciting for me on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons to be able to visit the classrooms and see these things happening. They're all multi-grade. The kids are excited, the bell goes off, and they just run to see if they can get to their class and do. Mrs. Ranstrom's students worked for several weeks on putting together these oral presentations, but basically you set the stage for them, and then you let the excitement and the engagement and the inquiry take it from there. So I would like to welcome Mrs. Ranstrom and our students up, and I'll say to you, if you are ever around on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday afternoon, from 2 o'clock to 2:35, please step in and join us for our Encore presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. So this term in Encore, as Mrs. Doe said, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade teachers decided to focus on oral presentations. I had a group of both 4th and 5th graders. One thing that I didn't want to do was to hear the same fallback topics that the kids tend to choose. Like, I love football, so I'm going to do a presentation on football. So I really wanted to stretch this group. So what I decided to do as a class would be to choose an overarching theme where they could choose a topic from. So some of the themes that we researched included mysteries in history, unique architecture, unusual sports, and strange animal adaptations. After several days of research, the class decided that they wanted to take on unique architecture. So from there, we brainstormed about 30 different topics that they could pick from, and each student chose something that was of interest to them. The topics ranged from bridges to the Louvre Museum, to unique restaurants, to underwater hotels that haven't even been built yet. Because of this overarching theme we created, they were so invested in one another's projects.
I loved walking around the room and hearing the oohs and cool and you guys got to see this, because they were so excited about not only their own project but each other's. That was all the guidance that I really provided them. They then researched the topics and put together slide presentations, which you're going to see some of them tonight. I really loved the creativity that came out of this while still staying true to themselves and choosing a topic that they might not have necessarily chosen on their own, but they were very passionate about. So tonight, you're going to see 5 of the 15 presentations, and I hope you enjoy the creativity and the hard work that they put into these. So,
Okay, thank you. If anybody wants to crack a window back there, don't be bashful.
Hi, my name is Eleanor Yates, and I picked the topic Airmobile 3.0 because it looked very interesting to me. I'm going to show you the most amazing car and airplane all in one. This presentation is all about the Airmobile. The Airmobile is obviously a car and an airplane. You need to have a pilot's license to start flying, but in general, to even drive the Airmobile, you need to have a driver's license. Not a regular car. The car can drive on the road like a normal vehicle, but then if you want to fly, its wings extend when ready for takeoff. It's a picture of the Airmobile when it's about to start flying. Price doesn't matter. Regardless of the price, this is the most amazing car the world will ever see. In 2 years, the Airmobile will be ready for takeoff. It can drive from Pittsburgh to Chicago nonstop. That's about 435 miles. Autopilot. Take a nap. Relax with the autopilot so you don't have to drive. Something's wrong? That would be very unusual considering the fact that it's very secure. But if you do end up in a situation and you had to evacuate in the air and you couldn't land, you have backup. There are parachutes inside of this architecture. Price. The creators are thinking $700,000 for the new flying car's price. Very tiny. Can only fit 2 kind of skinny people. A very squished car, only 2 kind of skinny people who are about 6 inches apart can fit inside. Gearing. There are lots of advanced gearing inside the Airmobile 3.0. The gearing is very high-tech, but not that confusing. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Where did you find this information?
Well, I've always been interested in cool cars, so I searched the most peculiar car that you'd ever see, and this was the first one that popped up.
I see. Did you search for that on the internet?
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Very good, thank
Very
you.
nice. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ben Markham, and I did MetLife Stadium. Introduction. MetLife Stadium is one of the biggest NFL stadiums today. It is home of the New York Giants and the New York Jets. I'm going to tell you about the history and about this stadium, what events took place here at the stadium, how long it took to build, and as well as some interesting facts. Starting out, MetLife Stadium started being built on September 5th, 2007. At first, since 2011, it was called the New Meadowlands Stadium. It took almost 3 years to finish. It had cost about $1.74 billion. They finished it on April 10th, 2010. While they were building MetLife, they had their old stadium next to it, the Giants Stadium. I wonder if they heard the loud construction noises while playing. This is MetLife Stadium next to the Giants Stadium, and MetLife Stadium was still being built. First events. On September 12th, 2010, the first event at MetLife Stadium was an NFL game. It was a regular season game. It was the New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers. The Giants won 31-18. On September 3rd, 2010, the Jets played their first game against the Baltimore Ravens. They had lost 10-9. Important events. There are 2 important events. One important event is WrestleMania 29. The main event was John Cena versus The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson. There was more than 80,000 people at the event. Another important event was Super Bowl 48. The 2 teams were Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. The Seattle Seahawks won 43-8. There was more than 82,000 people there. And this was MetLife Stadium on WrestleMania 29. Today, MetLife Stadium is mostly used for football games and concerts. Hopefully you learned something in this presentation.
So I'm going to read this presentation for this lovely lady. This is Jillian Stopa, and she did Extraordinary Libraries, and she's a 5th grader. So why libraries? Have you ever wondered if libraries have amazing hidden secrets inside? Well, Jill has. Some libraries have enormous bookshelves or even a parking garage. I'm going to tell you about some of these secrets that she researched. This is the Kansas City Public Library. This library was built in 1873 and is the oldest and 3rd largest public library. On the spines of the books displayed outside the library, there are actual book titles, like To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, and Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. On the south wall of the Central Library's parking garage is the Community Library. What library has its own parking garage? And this is a picture of the book titles on the outside of the library.
Wow.
The New York City Public Library. The New York Public Library cost about $9 million to complete and opened on Tuesday, May 23, 1911. It took over 12 years to build the New York Public Library, and when it opened, inside the library there were over 1 million books. The area where they built the library was once a cemetery for poor people. People from all around the city could submit designs for the library. John Jacob Astor, James Lennox, and Samuel Jones Tilden made the New York Public Library happen. The Roseman Reading Room is about the size of a football field. Now that's big. That is the Roseman Reading Room.
The Boston Public Library was founded in 1848 and opened to the public in 1854. It was the first library to allow its patrons to borrow books and other materials. The first room for children was added in 1895. Many murals are in the library, in the main hall.
He was a French painter. Other rooms have murals by Edwin Austin Abbey and John Singer Sargent. They were both American artists. The library held more than 6 million volumes and more than a million rare books and manuscripts. That is a picture of some of the murals in the Boston Public Library. Libraries are awesome. Libraries are everywhere, in schools, towns, and even castles. Libraries have every piece of information you may need. In my opinion, libraries have everything you will ever need to know. Almost every store you go into, there is at least one book in that store. Books are everywhere, so go to your local library and read.
My name is Daniel Hardy, and I'm in 4th grade, and my presentation is on peculiar houses. Some houses can be just normal old houses with a roof, floor, and windows, but others, however, can blow your mind. The House NA. So this one house is called the House NA. This house is made from pure glass, glass floors, glass everything. Except there is no walls. That makes it just that more dangerous. And my next house is an actual airplane that really flew people between 2 countries. And it was now recycled into a house or tourist trap that attracts more than 2,000 people per year. This is the House NA. The Slide House. This next house is a modern 3-story building on the outside, but so much different on the inside. While it's 24 square feet, this house is a total slide from the corners. And if you ever have the opportunity to visit this home, I would do it if I were you. The Tolo House. See this house? Isn't it cool? In 2005, the designer Alvaro Liza obviously designed this. And there are some rumors of it being foldable, but I don't think so, because it looks like it is made from stone. And the location of this house is Lugar das Carvalhinhas. Doesn't it just look remarkable? The Glass House. This particular house is made mostly of glass. It was designed by a famous architect named Philip Johnson. It is located in New Canaan, Connecticut. This house has become so famous that tourists can even visit it. And if you wanted to buy this house, it would cost millions of dollars. So these were some examples of amazing, amazing houses. Which one was your favorite? And if you could, which one would you live in?
My name's Lily Torville, and I'm in grade 5, and I did unique restaurants. Have you heard? All over the world, people are coming up with crazy ideas for restaurants, from toilet theme to prison themes. The list goes on and on. In this presentation, I will show you some crazy restaurants all over the world and some fun facts about them. Dine on the Porcelain Throne. Modern Toilet in Taiwan is a toilet-themed restaurant. It started in May 2004 as Martin Restaurant. After that, they changed it in April 2006 to Modern Toilet. It is a 3-story restaurant. You eat while plungers hang from the ceiling, and there's faucet-shaped lights. You sit on actual non-working toilets. Now that's crazy. Maximum security meals. The Forezza Medicchia is a restaurant in Verona, Italy. The prison was built in 1474, which is a maximum security prison. The prison is made for prisoners serving no more than 7 years. In 2006, they made a restaurant within the prison using inmates as staff. All the utensils are plastic. Since 2007, the tables in the restaurant had to be booked weeks in advance. Critical condition dining. The clinic in Singapore is a hospitalized restaurant. You're served on surgery tables while you sit in gold-plated wheelchairs. Your drinks will be served in test tubes, and there's pill-shaped food. It was built in 2007 for the Singapore Design Festival. Also, you eat while surgical lights hang from the ceiling. The first picture is food from the restaurant. The second picture is the entrance to the restaurant. And the third picture is some outside dining. What will they do next? Crazy restaurants are popping all over the place. There's even a restaurant where you get served by monkeys. What if you had the chance to visit one of these restaurants? Would you? I would. Also, what if you had a way to build a restaurant? Would it be like these?
Hope you enjoyed these presentations. Thank you.
We certainly
That
did.
was great. Thank you very much. Actually, they were so great. If we get a quick picture with the kids, school committee members, we go down. Don't mind. All right, Mr. Richard, I think we have some perfect scores we want to talk about.
Thank you, Mayor Sullivan. So each year at West Springfield High School, we have a number of students who participate in the advanced placement programs. And while traditionally those programs had been designed for our most high-flying students, West Springfield High School has charged the community to expand the enrollment in those programs to include many students of many abilities, all of whom have great potential. And that's determined oftentimes by performance in their grades 9 and 10 classes, as well as how they score on their PSAT to identify students who have what we call AP potential. Tonight, though, we're very pleased to recognize a number of students who achieve greatness with an advanced placement course, and that's scoring a perfect 5. And to put that in some perspective, when you score a 5 on an AP exam, it really is equivalent to making sure that you had an A in a college-level course. And so these students really have excelled. And we have a number of students tonight who we want to recognize with perfect scores. And they are the following students. In the class of 2015, we had Christian Bissinieri with a score of 5 in European History and Calculus AB. William Hurlbutt in Calculus AB, Statistics, and Environmental Science. John Malene Mangalini with Calculus BC, Calculus AB, and Biology. Samantha O'Brien, Calculus AB. Haley Rivers, Environmental Science. David Rondo, Calculus AB. And Tom Schindelman, English Literature Composition, Calculus AB, and Environmental Science. For these, there you go. Students in the class of 2016 are current seniors. Daniel Joseph Callahan with a score of 5 in English Language Composition and U.S. History. Caitlin Glidden, Calculus AB. Dasha Parchinskaya, English Language Composition, and Matthew Romero, Calculus AB. And the class of 2017, these are 2 students who took this exam as sophomores. Lindsay Gertie in Statistics and Bennett Mountain in Environmental Science. And if I could ask all those students who were just called to come forward, we've got a presentation of a certificate of recognition for you.
No, he's at college.
Oh, that's true. These are only you guys. Dan Joseph Callahan. Don't go far. Kate Glidden. Dasha. Matt. Don't go far, Matt. Lindsay. Bennett. All right. Congratulations for these guys. Put them on the end.
Go right there. There you go. Perfect. We got it. Everybody look at me. One more. Perfect, thanks.
So next on the agenda, we get creative with how we talk around here. Next on the agenda is the presentation of our John and Abigail Adams Scholarship recipients. And these are students who have managed to excel on our MCAS as administered at West Springfield High School. And so a couple of years ago, we had to make adaptations to what we were doing to make sure that we prepared students for the inclusion of the science MCAS for consideration with the John and Abigail Adams calculations. So what we have in front of us tonight are up to 77 students from West Springfield High School who are receiving the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship, which entitles those students to tuition at state colleges and universities for 4 years in Massachusetts, which is an outstanding recognition and ability for some of these families in West Springfield who may not have other means to pay for college and university to take advantage of. So we're very pleased to have them here. Dr. Vito Perone, the principal of the high school, is going to read names. As he reads the names, I'd ask that the students come forward. I would ask that the audience hold your applause until all names have been read. What Mayor Sullivan will present those who are in attendance tonight with is your certificate, which will give you directions on how to redeem this scholarship should you choose to take advantage of it.
Hannah Ackerley. John Blair III. Joshua Boyer. Shannon Brassel. Amelia Briganti. Daniel John Callahan. Daniel Joseph Callahan. Sarah Karen. Amanda Cassano. John Charbonneau. Ting Chen. Nara Cole. Cassandra Connell. Jo Marie Cruz. Sean Cruz Shipper. Craig Danio. Bo Davis. Christian Daragon. Donovan Descant. Victoria Eastham. Shayla Escobar. Julia Fleury. Maurizio Garcia Garzon. Alyssa Garapi. Dylan Garvey. Elizabeth Gladu. Caitlin Glidden. Lyndon Grenier. Madeline Grunden. Ava Guzman. Carly Haga. Robert Hamilton. Vanessa Hartig. Ryan Hunter. Thomas Gerard IV. Nicholas Karas. Bogdan Klimashenko. Jessica Krivolenko. Matthew Labby. Emma Lane. Christian Leparati. Nicole Lassard. Daniel Latender. Jack Lever. Nicholas Lovely. Patrick Malinowski. Laura Miles. Islam Muktasimov. Lan Nguyen. James Oliver. Brody Osborne. Dasha Parshinskaya. Dulari Patel. Daniel Pavluk. Daniel Pilon. Zachary Pinter. Ryan Rausch. Alla Rogasina. Matthew Romero. Chloe Roy. Destiny Saez. Austin Sawicki. Dylan Schlichting. Megan Scott. Timothy Sexton, Vladislav Shopkin, Marissa Smith, Lamaya Smith Reed, Raj Solanki, Elise Solis Karen, Brendan Stenwick, Diana Stepchuk, Hannah Svankin, Kulkanim Taseeva, Cian Whalen, Lauren Willis, Sarah Wilson.
Anybody who's here received your award, why don't you come up here and we'll go up behind you because you'll award us. So if you want to line up here, Dr. Crusoe will take a picture and put it on the website. Everybody will line up. They've got her form if they actually call me down to say yeah. Oh, there you are.
Actually, yeah, that's good. Where you are. This is like, I need a, Actually, I got it. Smile. Don't move. Stay here. One more. Okay, thank you. Don't move. Stay there. You got more. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone, and congratulations. We'll give you a chance to exit if you want, and then we'll reconvene. Okay, why don't we reconvene? Up in front of us next is approval of the open session minutes of November 10th, 2015. I'll entertain a motion.
So
Moved. Do I hear a second?
moved. Right.
Moved by Dr. Azari, seconded by Pat. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Superintendent's report. Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Mayor Sullivan. So this evening, the first item on our agenda is to discuss accountability. And the plan, as originally proposed by the state, had been that that data was going to, the embargo was going to be lifted either yesterday or today. Unfortunately, late Friday afternoon, we received word that that embargo will not be lifted until tomorrow. So I would respectfully ask the school committee to table this agenda item until our next meeting, and I'll slide in a plea to have that take place on December 22nd instead of January 12th, as it's important to get this information out to the public. I'd prefer to not wait. However, the state controls when that information is available to the public, and it won't be until tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Next up.
The next agenda item is proposing limitations on student travel. Similar to my previous agenda item, we are continuing to research some information that I think would be important for us in making any decision regarding the safety and security of students who may be traveling within and outside of the United States. During these times where there's safety is in question, we want to make sure that we're making the best decision possible. I'm continuing to collect information from sources including my fellow superintendents, interested stakeholders in West Springfield, in the town's insurance carriers. So I propose also that we table this topic until December 22nd.
Okay.
Mike, just
Mr.
so you know,
Sutton.
Ryan, sorry.
Go ahead.
On the next, on here, it says next school committee meeting is July 12th.
Right.
I didn't know if we had one December.
Well, we'll take it under advisement. We'll have a discussion, determine when the next meeting will be.
Right. Thank you. The third item I can discuss with you this evening, and that is that the state is asking for all school districts to make decisions relative to their standardized testing for the spring. Because we tested in grades 3 through 8 in Park last year, we will be responsible to continue that trend this year. So we don't have a decision as to whether we will take MCAS or Park. We are indeed bound to Park. We do have an opportunity, though, to decide whether we will take that pencil and paper or computer-based testing. Tonight, I would recommend to the school committee to support me in my recommendation to the state that we follow the same strategy that we took last year in protocols, namely that students in grades 3, 4, and 5 take the test pencil and paper, and students in grades 6, 7, and 8 take a computer-based test. So while a formal vote is not required, acceptance of the plan by the school committee would be appreciated.
Okay, all those in favor of the proposal? It's unanimous.
Thank you. The next item for us this evening is relative to personnel changes. We don't have too many of them, which is always good news. However, we do have a few pending retirements, and that will be for Cheryl Albano, grade 3 teacher at Fawsey, Maria Griffin, a middle school science teacher, and Kathy Rivers, a clerk at the high school. We have 3 resignations. Seth Cassidy, a special ed teacher at Mittenegg, Nancy Banish, a special ed paraprofessional at Coburn, and Catherine Whitehead, a special ed paraprofessional at the high school. We have 2 appointments this evening. The first is Lauren Kortamash, an autism teacher at Coburn. The second is Monica Bellucci, an interim adjustment counselor at Coburn. And finally, 1 transfer, and that is Lori Bedard from ETL to assistant administrator of special services.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. All right, under new business.
So moving right along, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome Dr. Vito Perrone and Mrs. Erin Panteliakis from the high school to share with you changes for the program of studies for the high school for the 2016-2017 school year. I know that Mrs. Garbasic may wish to speak to what took place in the curriculum subcommittee prior to this meeting.
Thank you. There was a meeting at the high school with the Curriculum Steering Committee, and we did review the changes that were proposed. Some of these changes were made in a previous meeting when we talked about the engineering technology and aligning that with our program for students to gain credit from STIC, Springfield Technical Community College. Another course that was added was a computer science course that deals with programming skills and eliminates what was the course? It was
Desktop publishing?
desktop publishing, right. So that's considered by today's standards as being too elementary, I guess. So they're doing the standardized, the programming skills. The physical education is updating some of their electives and see how they run. One is backyard games, which is kind of interesting. And the other one is international games, which is, involves rugby, cricket, ball, whatever that is. We're learning about that. And pretty much that rounds it up. The curriculum committee unanimously approved the courses as proposed.
Okay. Folks, any follow-up?
No, I'd just like to say thank you. Certainly the curriculum subcommittee meetings are always well attended and very well versed with great communication and conversations. They're very good questions, and we're appreciative of that. Any follow-up has been, you've been able to view. We're excited this year. We are reformatting it so that it's more user-friendly for the parents and the students who are reading it. So there will be a big reformatting, and we're also going to be launching it online, strictly online this year for our students as they're one-to-one with their Chromebooks. So that will be available to them on their Chromebooks to begin scheduling. That's pretty much it.
Any other questions? Okay, appreciate that. Do we need a vote of the changes?
I make a motion to approve the Program of Studies booklet for the school year 2016 to 2017 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay, thank you very much. Unanimous. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
District policies.
Everyone's had these in their packets, had time to look over them. I'm calling for approval. I think we have to do them separately. It's emergency plan EBC. I'm seeking approval.
You want to move that?
Do you want to do it that way, or
Do you want me to make the motion?
probably?
All right. I'll make the motion to approve file EBC for emergency plans.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Kathy, up next.
Second, make a motion that we accept English language learners file IHBEA.
I make a motion that we approve English language learners file IHBEA.
Second. Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion relative to that policy? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Kathy?
Next is our physical restraint policy, revised by the attorneys, file JKAA.
Motion to approve file JKAA on physical restraint policy.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Dr. Azari?
Yes, the staff is going to be receiving some training on physical restraint.
Yes.
Mr. Richard?
Thank you, Dr. Irizarry. In fact, that training has commenced actually yesterday. We had a consultant in offering training for all the building and district level administration. That's going to follow with more training for all the classroom teachers and support staff.
Good, thank you.
Very good. Any other discussion? Ready to vote? All those in favor? It's unanimous, thank you. And Kathy, I believe
The
we have...
last one is physical examination and screening of students, file JLCA.
Motion to approve file JLCA about physical examination and screening of students.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Kathy, thank you for your hard work and as well as your committee on this. Okay, before we go to questions and concerns, I do want to just remind school committee members that there's an updated assignment sheet relative to negotiations in front of you. If you see any discrepancies relative to the sheet, please let me know. Okay, now we go to questions and concerns from the audience. I do want to alert the audience that we follow the council rules and Robert's rules of law. So what you need to do if someone wants to, usually I call you up first, but that's okay, you're there. You come up, you state your name, your residence, your place of residence, and want to remind everybody they have 5 minutes to address the school committee.
Okay. All right, so I wasn't aware about the 5 minutes. My name is Kevin Anderson, 1642 Westfield Street, West Springfield, Massachusetts. And thank you for the time to be able to express my concerns. What I'm about to say is not a personal attack on any one individual tonight. I just want to ask you to look at me not as some kind of troublemaker, but as a father who loves his children so much that he is willing to, go through a lot of things for them. I also realize tonight that even though I'm speaking for my children, that what I have to say will affect or should affect every child in West Springfield tonight. I have 2 children who attend the middle school, and on the honor roll they are, performing above average. Their PARCC test scores reveal that they're not proficient. There lies my issue. In addition, I've found in my research since 2011 that the middle school has been experiencing some performance anomalies over the last 4 years. I haven't been able to get a good explanation as to why that is occurring. In an attempt to express this, I watched the videos over the past 12 months, and I've seen questions asked about this issue at the middle school. And I watched Mr. Gillen saying that, we have challenges, myriad challenges, we have materials introduced at younger and younger ages, and pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, making up excuses as to the reasons why. I'm skipping out here because I only have 5 minutes, okay? There are pretty much 4 factors that I understand why this could happen. It has to be student-related, teacher-related, school-related, or family-related. I've crossed student and family-related off the list. I want to cross teacher-related off the list, but apparently I have to go to the point where I have to call the mayor, speak to these fine people up here in order to get an understanding of what's happening in the classroom for my children so that I can know what to do. This is the implicit message that I'm getting from the school. Mr. Anderson, we want you involved only on the periphery. Do not get involved in the education part. Mr. Anderson, you can chaperone a field trip, but don't talk about the efficacy of your children's education. You can sell cookie dough, Mr. Anderson, but don't question our results. And finally, Mr. Anderson, we can ask you why your child doesn't do homework, but it is none of your business if a particular teacher is not doing hers. Now, I am sensing a culture of inequity in this partnership that we're supposed to have, that in my opinion smells of discrimination, double standard, cultural and racial insensitivity, and just plain mediocrity. 100 families this year decided that although they lived in West Side, they will not send their kids to West Side schools, according to the school choice records. So we import like 100 kids from Springfield and around. Finally, my final thought is, some may wonder why, what authority do I come here tonight to be able to say what I'm saying? And I would like to turn your attention to the Massachusetts Supreme Court decision, McDuffie and Hancock, that requires everyone that is in here to educate our children. And an educated child must possess the following 7 capabilities. You are required by law to educate our children to have sufficient oral and written communication skills, sufficient knowledge of economic, social, and political systems, sufficient understanding of governmental process, sufficient self-knowledge and knowledge of his or her mental and physical wellness. And something that is near to my heart, sufficient grounding in the arts to enable each student to appreciate her cultural and historical heritage. Sufficient training in academic and vocational fields so that they can compete with other public and private schools all around. If the MCAS and the PARCC tests and the SATs are the measure of this sufficient proficiency in these areas, then am I to conclude that here in West Springfield, my children, I don't know anybody else's, my children are not receiving what they're supposed to receive in the school system? Honor roll, not meeting requirements. Somebody needs to explain that to me, and not just lip service. Explain to me what happened to my child in the 6th grade.
Thank you. Your points are well taken, and I know you had come to my office, asked for some information, and we'll certainly provide that to you. So appreciate you coming forward tonight. Anyone else? Okay. All right, well, I see nothing else on the agenda other than schedule our next meeting. I know the superintendent's asked for a meeting on December 22nd. We'll discuss that and advise accordingly. Otherwise, seeing nothing else come before the school committee, I want to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second. Also moved.
So moved, thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor? It's approved unanimous. I thank everyone for coming out tonight, and thank everyone who is watching at home. And if we don't convene a meeting on the 22nd, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. Thank you.